Hey guys, welcome back to Property Pals. My name is Marcus.
My name is Ben.
And today we're going to talk through the best first home buyer houses that are on the market.
That's right, we're really excited. We've done a couple of episodes now, and the market is back. Properties are selling, properties are passing in, properties are on market, there's opportunities, and so, yeah, we're really excited to kind of talk about some properties that, I guess, suit first home buyers, but also are in the
lower range,
so probably more suitable just for people that don't want to be spending millions and millions on a property.
Yeah, so sub 1 million, I think most of the ones I've picked. But do you want to just get straight into it?
Jump into it.
First home buyer. I've started with, this is a unique one. It's at 2 Williams Road, Coburg North. Now, Ben, EOI that's just closed and it's under offer.
So how does an EOI work, Marcus?
Expressions of interest. Usually you have a deadline date where you have to put in an offer before that. You might say, this one's quoted for 750 to 820K. I might say, my EOI, I write an email, I say, I'm going to put a expression of interest in at 810K. They'll consider those, they'll come back to you and say, no, we need 820. So it's more of a negotiation rather than an auction, which is final when the hammer goes down.
That's right. Like an auction is very transparent because everyone is there, and basically it's just whoever's the last standing.
Correct.
Whereas an EOI, it's a little bit more tricky for a buyer because you put down an offer, and then the agent will look at all the offers, and then basically
look at the one offer.
Yeah. So it could be one offer, it could be lots of offers. You just don't know. And then generally, what will happen? You might put an offer then you'll be shortlisted, and maybe it's depending. It could be the top three, or it could be just something that the agent's saying. But they'll be listed, and then you'll need to re-go probably back with maybe another offer, or maybe you just stay put if you think that's your final offer that's going to be.
So it's complex. It's complex in a sense, and you can play a few games. But why would this one be an EOI? Just asking, Ben. Usually something with the house like this, I would have thought would be an auction.
Yeah, I would have thought it's an auction, but I guess probably the market is a little bit tough at the moment. People are a little bit nervous about maybe putting offers in, or potentially what the issue might be is that they just don't know if they're going to have enough buyers for it.
Yeah, So in this one, it's just north of Batman Station. It's 3 bed, 2 bath, 2 car. I think it's on about 470 square metres of land. Okay. Not massive, but still a good amount.
Not huge, so is there any development upside to this one?
Now, I'm going to say maybe, and I'll come back to that in a second. So it's just north of Batman Station, located in Coburg North, in Melbourne, which you can get to the city very easily. It's adjacent to an industrial area, so an industrial zoned area. And guess what, Ben? Guess what?
What?
It's zoned Industrial 1 zone. This house, this residential house, is zoned Industrial 1 zone. Now,
that's really interesting.
It's interesting because it's a house, and in an industrial zone, as per planning, residential is not allowed.
And so we've touched on it a little bit, Marcus, haven't we, in terms of zoning, and we'll probably in another episode we'll go into a little bit more depth, but generally there's zoning which is for living or for residential use. There's zoning for commercial use, which is like offices or retail. There's zoning, mixed use and commercial one, and there's certain ones where you can do whatever you want. But then industrial is generally for factories,
heavy goods, industrial, And Ben, the question I have to you, and you know it a bit better than me, but with this house, if it doesn't have any heritage issues, which I hope it wouldn't, now, because it's industrial zone, could I redevelop and make it residential, a house?
So, again, I'm not a planner, but from my understanding is that if it's got a house there and you've got an existing use, so that's looks like it's been operating.
Existing being right now, it's been...
That's right, or you can prove that it's been used as a house for so many years, and that's obviously a house. It looks like a house. I think you probably can get feedback from history of someone living there or the previous vendor that it's obviously a house. Then you can keep remaining using it as a house. But it gets a bit more tricky when you're adding lots of different apartments to it, or you're adding lots of different
increasing the internal area of the house.
Or I can't comment on if you increase, say, add an extra room or something. But if you're knocking it down, then putting in 4 townhouses on there, then it gets a little bit tricky because you might not be allowed that, but you can just have one house. But I think the fact is that it's got a house at the moment, even though it's zoned industrial 1, you can still keep using that as a house for yourself.
And it's been recently renovated, so it looks quite nice on the inside. The only real downside, I love the floorboards, by the way.
Beautiful.
and the fake fireplace, or what was a fireplace.
It's okay. It gives you the feel of a fireplace. I mean, you could Photoshop a little bit of fire in there.
Put it in there. But my question is, Ben, it's adjacent to actual industrial factories.
And by that, so is it like behind you is factories or?
Yeah, I checked on the side. This is on the corner.
Okay.
And it's literally factories behind you.
So again, if you're looking at a property, you probably definitely want to go and inspect it just to have a look around to make sure that there's not like, I don't know, some sort of, if you're vegetarian, there's a butcher behind you or something like that.
Good analogy. I think the best. I think the thing about this is that you're in an industrial zone which is large. It's going to be industrial in the end, with a lot of properties probably, and you've got a lot there. So you just want to be cautious. Do you want to live next to heavy goods and factories, or do you want to live in a nice street which is all resi?
But then again, and if you look like it's changing, or if there is enough houses around there, maybe it will remain like that. But you got a beautiful, what is that, a mandarin tree, an orange
mandarin
tree?
You could pick them for days, I reckon. But the floor plan, like we're talking about the house itself, it's got 3 bedrooms, the main bedroom with an ensuite, then the other 2 bedrooms are serviced by another bathroom.
Great.
The bedrooms are good size, Ben. We've got
Sizable
5x3, 3.7 for the master, the main, then we've got 4.3x4. I wouldn't mind a bedroom like that.
And now, orientation-wise, so it's the main living room area is facing north.
Can you explain? This actual backyard faces east.
Yeah, so
That's not
the
bad.
orientation faces east, but what's good is that I guess you're getting natural light from the north. You won't have a view so much, but
it's orientated towards the north. Like lots of houses will orientate their living space to the north for the sun, and that's what they've done here.
And then I guess you've also then east you've got for the dining, so you're going to get that great sun in the morning, I guess.
Grouse.
Main bedroom south, and then the other bedroom there gets west. But I think orientation wise that makes sense.
Yep, no, I like it. So for what 750 to 820, a house in the inner middle ring of Melbourne. Not bad.
Not too bad. And Coburg North, great area. Coburg North is gentrifying quite a lot.
It's got lots of energy, so it's good.
Very good.
You go for it, Ben.
Now, my number 3, we're jumping from Coburg North all the way down to St Kilda. Now, this is a very hip, cool suburb.
Very nice.
We're talking about Unit 15, 58 Grey Street, St Kilda. Now, this is a 1 bed, 1 bath, no car.
Ben, you're taking me to, no car.
But what's good about this? Have a look at this beautiful Art Deco penthouse.
Oh, is it a penthouse?
Now that is right. It's a penthouse. It's 85 square meters internal area. So the quote, what it is $580,000 to $625,000. If it sells within that range, it ends up being approximately $7,000 a square meter.
Oh, good research.
Now, when you get in there, like these older sort of Art Deco apartments, it's got high sprawling ceilings, it's got beautiful windows, it's got gorgeous exposed timber floorboards, and then look up the top, it's got like a rooftop area, which it's a little bit awkward. You go up
2 by 2.5.
But that's for the But what else do you need? Big enough for a table, a chair or two, and a cup of coffee, and
can't swing your cat.
Bob's your uncle.
Then
but you got to go through mezzanine area in the bedroom one, then up to the rooftop area. But it's really unique. Like you just don't get that sort of beautiful rooftop area that you can see the sea from there.
Can you?
It looks like the sea. Look at that picture. That's sea. I can see boats there.
Jeez, your eyes are better than mine.
But look, it's not within 1 second of St Kilda Beach, but it's within a small walk of St Kilda Beach and kind of the main St Kilda Acland Street, and that's the main drag.
Then the exposed bricks.
I love it. Isn't that gorgeous?
It's just to die for that.
So I guess to summarise, right, Marcus, no car, which is an issue, isn't it, for some people?
But it's got a loft, Ben. You didn't talk about the loft.
You've subbed out your car for a little bit of mezzanine. So, maybe that could be an area where you put a desk or something. Maybe more likely it's probably just going to be storage.
Home office.
And so, the bedroom goes directly into the home office.
Upstairs, though.
Orientated north.
Great.
So, look, overall, I think for, first home buyer or for someone that's just looking for a pad or, a place for just themselves, I think this is, a really affordable entry into the market.
Can I just ask, Ben, is that a window off the bathroom but off the corridor?
Yeah, I haven't looked too in depth just into where the window of the bathroom is, but I don't normally the way that they design their bathrooms that you can see into the corridor.
Yeah.
But you're going to still be able to have a private shower. I can guarantee you that.
Oh no, it's just a bit weird. We'd have to go and see it. All right,
either way,
Ben,
that's my one.
Let's go to my
number two.
Now, the one that I found is Well, let's see. 354 Gooch Street, Thornbury.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Thornbury.
it's just got a lot of energy, Thornbury. It's been gentrifying, and I'm genuine when I say that. It's gentrified over probably the last 10
Thornbury
years.
is very cool.
It is cool.
It's very cool. There's lots of bars and cool restaurants and everything.
Yeah, there is, and I think it's quoted for 800 to 850k.
Okay.
3 bed, 2 bath, 2 car. Now, Ben, for a new house with 3 beds, 2 cars, this is not a bad price. It's new. It's a I think triple story. 4 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4 stories.
Wow.
Now, location in Thornbury, right next to Darebin Creek. Lovely spot for enjoying nature, and also within walking distance of trams along Station Street. Further within walking distance of the north of Thornbury High School. Perfect for a family and kids.
Great. And I can see there, what is that? 2 bedrooms, the main bedroom upstairs, separated by the living room. That is very nicely designed.
Yes. Ben, I'm going to pitch this to you. Do you like stairs?
In fact, stairs are one way of getting exercise, so I do like stairs.
Great, because you're going to go up a lot of stairs for this one. This is 4 stories. So let's just say that you'll get some strong quads. But jokes aside, I love how it's kind of the second and third bedroom separated from the master suite, as you said, or the main suite. The second and third bedrooms are generous in size. You just have to have a look. 4.4 times by 3.2 and 3 times 3.8. It's a good size. The master suite is on the top level, spacious, and has its own ensuite. Great natural light. The 2-car tandem garage. We meet the tandem again, Benny boy.
Yeah, so now tandem, can be a bit of an issue if you have one person that sleeps in, but they get home.
At the end, latest.
The latest,
Yeah,
that's
latest.
right, to block the way.
Yeah.
But I think what I saw here, Marcus, is that the stairs isn't so much of an issue, particularly. You might be thinking, I'd love to have a lift there, but lifts need to be maintained, so that costs money to maintain that. So maybe the stairs is the best option, particularly if you don't want to keep maintaining a lift. But also, too, you've got a bedroom on the ground floor.
It's good. Airbnb, Ben. No.
I think there's no issue with that, but just some people might like to be slightly above the ground.
We've got 2 on ground
so
floor.
one at the back in the courtyard, one at the front. Maybe that could be a home office too as well.
The only thing about buying this now, Ben, this isn't its own development. There's a lot of the same type of townhouses, so a fair bit of product. So if you buy it, what's different to the next door one? Not much.
That's true.
So if you had 2 on the market at the same time, I'm just saying that it's not really unique. And you generally, when you want selling something, you want something that's a bit more unique, has a point of difference, but this one's a bit of same to next door. So that's the only downside. Sorry, along with a bit of the outlook. Outlook's not 100% amazing. Like, you got screens on the bottom.
Sometimes that's just by
Part
default.
and parcel of a townie.
Yeah, just having a townhouse, often just because they're small, there's overlooking issues, so that's how they're designed, just so that there's not too much overlooking in terms of your windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Look, you're still getting natural light into that living room.
Bob's your uncle, it looks good.
Yeah, you're right in Thornbury, which is a very cool suburb, and it looks like it could suit the family. And this could also be probably investment as well. If you're buying it as an investment, it would suit families and stuff. And if it's a newer development, there would be depreciation benefits, which we can talk about in
another one. Yeah,
episode.
Ben, 800 to 850k. Would you buy this for that amount?
Well, I think for a 3-bedder townhouse, which looks in very good condition.
New, I think.
I think it's an affordable amount of money. Thornbury is still quite close to the CBD.
For a family, I think it's a good get. Personally, probably I wouldn't put my money into something like this, and the reason is because I would prefer have a land component and something that's a bit more unique. But if I was in a situation where you had a large family and you wanted to take them to school, I think it's a good option.
Yeah, and on that point, you do have land in this because it's a townhouse, but it's not completely free because you're part of. You're certain slightly
connected. You've got an adjacent party wall, and when I said land, I prefer land that I could develop in the future. This one is a townhouse with it's connected, so I don't think there's much development upside.
Yeah, well, until we went long enough to build more
on top. Yeah. All right. Well, that was my 2. Now, Ben, over to you.
Now we're going down. We're just jumping down from good old Thornbury and going down to North Melbourne. Now, this property is, again, very close to the CBD. We're talking about unit 21198 Peel Street, North Melbourne.
Peel Street?
There's a lot of Peel Streets around. This one is in North Melbourne, and it is a 2-bed, 1 bath, 1 car, quoted for $530,000 to $620,000. This is an incredibly prime location, Marcus. It's an odd shape, but let me get to it. On Peel Street, you are a stone's or a pebble's throw from Elizabeth Street, which is, there's a lot of work that's going on Elizabeth Street at the moment. There's a CSL.
Gentrifying?
I mean, it's kind of, I guess it's gentrified already, but there's more buildings that are going up there. CSL has just had their kind of headquarters that's built just behind you, actually.
Yep.
And so if you want to work for CSL, that is very good.
That's very good, yeah.
On that point, though, Marcus, with this one, is that it's so close to the CBD that this apartment will always be under demand by students
For renting,
Yep, medical professionals. Now,
It's a unique shaped building. If you just look at it, it's kind of a triangle.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's driven just because there's two streets that kind of divide it. Now, this one, unfortunately, there's not too much of an outlook, which when you look at the living rooms and also the bedrooms, you're kind of looking at the other building. But location-wise, is that you're very close to the CBD, easy to access by foot or via tram. You're close to the medical precinct of Melbourne, so near CSL headquarters and the university precinct near Melbourne University.
It's good actually, Ben. I was just going to note, we've got the shared bathroom with the bedrooms on the first floor, but in another one we were looking at previously, I think it was in Fitzroy, it didn't have a bathroom on the ground floor, and this one does. So it's got
a powder room.
Yeah, powder. When I say bathroom, it's got a powder room, which is advantageous, so you don't have to walk up your stairs to go to the toilet all the time.
And I think that's the main sort of thing which is great, is if you have guests and stuff, they don't need to go upstairs and go through a bedroom to go to the dunny or the bathroom.
Yeah.
They can just go downstairs and go to the bathroom just there. This one here, you might have noticed, Marcus, the bedrooms, they're adjacent to each other, which isn't the end of the world, but they are a slightly odd shape. And so one is 4.3 by 2.5, the other is 3.4 by 2.7. So it may be difficult to fit in a lot of different things into that room because of their shape.
Do you know why they did that?
So they can share a balcony. I'm not sure exactly why they did that.
You could have just taken the wall straight up, potentially, unless it's structural, which I don't think that would be.
I'm not sure exactly. It probably comes down to the bedroom, and then you couldn't get to it. But look, those bedrooms, you can fit double beds or queen beds in both those bedrooms. It's got a bathroom upstairs. It's also, to the complex, has a common rooftop terrace.
Now that terrace, if you have a look at the pictures, that's a beautiful
and that is a great place to have a coffee.
Or beers. Get on the beers up there.
Got a beautiful view of the CBD, but all in all, I think that for the circa $600,000 range, which where you do have stamp duty benefits if you're a first home buyer,
yes,
that is incredibly attractive. It's near the CBD. Rents are going crazy at the moment, particularly around that area. We're going to have lots of international students coming back. That will definitely be under demand. And then also too, this for a professional, it's really good. So it's quite versatile.
Yeah, and it's spacious. When you compare it to a two-bed, maybe a normal apartment, I think it looks pretty spacious.
Love it.
All right, Ben.
There you go.
To my number one.
Oh, wow.
Now, Ben, this is taking me to, wait for it, Prahran.
Oh,
now,
wow.
I do have a soft spot for Prahran.
That's a cool suburb.
Area. So 804/105 High Street, Prahran. Quote range, 750k to 780k.
Not
First
bad.
home buyer kind of price.
Yep.
Great spot on High Street. So it's 2 bed, 2 bath and 1 car. Could the location get any better though? It's on High Street, located perhaps 150 metres from Prahran train station. High Street is well known for its bars, clubs, restaurants. Within moments you can take a tram down to Albert Park Lake too.
But importantly, tell me about that layout.
And the layout is incredible. Like if I had to lay out an apartment myself,
there you go.
This would be it. Now, no, I'm genuinely
it's actually
serious.
Very, very good, isn't it?
You've got your living room in the middle. You've got 1 bedroom on one end, 1 bedroom on the other end.
One's got an ensuite.
The other doesn't, but it's connected right next to the bathroom. Now,
very convenient.
I'll just need to check my notes here. Now, generally when you have a floor plate that isn't that deep, the kitchen will be along the wall like this. So they've been quite clever. They put the kitchen here.
You've got the island bench there too, which is very good.
Yeah, it's good. Exactly. And then you can have the living room here. There's a couple things that I just want to point out. When you see the letters AC, air conditioning. Now, like the other one, Ben, where are the AC? The main bedroom.
It's the main bedroom.
The living room, not the second bedroom.
Oh.
So just check when you go in there.
Maybe that person doesn't even it actually is very good with hot weather.
They could be. They genuinely, yeah. But the other thing is, this one doesn't have dimensions on it either.
Good observation.
Ben, do you think those bedrooms look a bit small?
Well, they could be a little bit tight.
Petite. But
let
me just say the aspect's great. You're facing south, however, you've got larger windows, so
Right.
you'd still get good natural light.
And even we've commented that we love north-facing windows, right? But sometimes if you're so high up and you're north-facing, it gets really hot.
Whack straight in the
south
face. Hot.
isn't necessarily the worst sort of thing.
I prefer north though, to be honest. Like northeast.
I think if you could choice, you would say north, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily going to be freezing or cold because it's south-facing here.
Yep. Would you prefer south facing or west facing? I prefer probably south.
I would probably prefer south, just
Yep.
because west you really get it in the eyes
Bang.
at the end of the day. What's interesting here though is the two balconies.
I love it. The two balconies. Like, look at that. You've got one that comes off the living and the main, and then you've got another balcony for this other bedroom. Like, what more could you want now? Ben,
There's
last
one thing.
No,
I don't. Do you want to
Alright,
get? You
go
get it
first.
first. No, please.
All right.
Please.
So they've got screens. So I just wanted you to explain what these screens are on the balconies.
Well, a screen is kind of what it's called. It's a screen.
It's calling a rock. Yeah, so the screen here is essentially a frosted piece of glass
Yeah.
that doesn't allow you to see into your next door neighbour's balcony. And that's fine. It just means that when you're looking this way on the balcony, you might be just on a clear view.
But I guess what is good though is that what they do is sometimes with balustrades, which are basically a balustrade,
Yes.
whoops daisies, is that the barrier that stops you from falling off the edge of a balcony. Sometimes if they're completely solid and non-transparent, so you can't see through them, it actually impacts your view. But what's done really well here is
Clear
that part of
glass.
it looks like it's stone or some sort of material,
Concrete,
which
yeah.
actually helps towards making you not feel like you're going to fall off the edge.
Yep,
But
yep.
then the top of that is glass, so you will be able to see through it.
Whack
That allows
bang
more
through.
natural light in, but also a nicer view as well.
Incredible. I know it's again, much better for outlook, and especially when you're in the apartment, when you're actually looking at it. So,
Also, too, just a comment I noticed too
Please.
as well is that there's a black sort of
Column?
square that's in front of one of these balconies, which is right, it's a column. So that's going to slightly maybe
obscure your view.
obscure view, but it's well
Obstruct,
placed
actually.
because it's not right in the middle of the room or right in the middle of the bedroom. It's been fairly well designed. So it's just kind of along with the glass in one of the areas.
Yeah, generally we don't have columns in bedrooms, like right in the middle of the bedroom.
I mean, struggle to fit your bed in, but
So it's good. It's got a washing machine and dryer area. Overall, for 750 to 780k location and its layout, I'm
great.
tempted. Like,
great.
I would love that.
Again, with an apartment building, you probably always want to see across the road or in front of you if there's anything that could block the view, but you are quite high up there, so it
You're
looks
on a
pretty
corner.
good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So Ben, that's one of my top. That's probably my
Love
top
it.
one for a first home buyer. I'm very excited about your next
I
one.
have
I have a soft spot for it.
Incredibly interesting apartment to interesting house to introduce to everyone. Now this one is my number one, and I was so excited to introduce it that obviously someone else got even more excited than me because someone bought it.
And
So-
we went to an auction actually in this street on the other side.
That's right.
What's the
So
location?
the address is 1 Norwood Street, Flemington. Now this one, Marcus, was quoted for, I think at the time, it's gone now because it was sold, but it was around 750 to 800, I think was the quote, and it sold for $850,000.
Wow, and Ben, this street itself, I love the tree line street. It's in Flemington Hill area, so it's just, mwah.
I would agree. I couldn't even put it into words how good this is. It's on a corner, so it's got 3 street frontage basically, so to a laneway.
Wow.
It's got the bedrooms are separated by a bathroom in between.
Ooh.
How good is that? It is a north-facing living room and
Yeah,
dining
wow.
room, living room area. The car kind of comes off the laneway to the back.
Wow.
This sold for $850,000. Now, I'm not estimating or saying $850,000 is a lot of money, but for what you're getting there, which is 250 square meters of land, you're getting a pretty good house.
In the location.
It is 30 seconds from Newmark Station and all the
Yeah.
kind of amenities that go with the Newmark area.
Shops right near Newmarket. I think there's a Luxor King there, which is beautiful.
Yum.
Yes. It gets me excited. Like if I was buying something for a townhouse, I would love this here.
I think overall, look, it's a really, in terms of a package, I think this is a really good purchase for a first-home buyer. $850,000 is a lot of money, though. That might be more than some first-home buyers and some just day-to-day buyers are paying. But in terms of what you're getting for proximity to the CBD, proximity to the activity centre of the Newmarket, Flemington area, this is something that I think is really good.
Ben, a couple of things. The car space at the back can also be converted to outdoor living space,
Yep.
which is great. Secondly, do you know if this has capacity to build up?
So it's gen-res zone.
Ooh,
So
could be.
look, you could as well. You could probably look to add an extra level. Again, I'm not a planner. I can't promise anything. You've got to do your own due diligence. But given the zoning, that you could potentially look to add something else up. Whether you'd need to, whether you'd actually want to go through the process or not, I'm not sure.
Sometimes when you're looking at doing an extra story, often they get the stairs to come through that second bedroom, which is in the middle of the property, and then they make that like an office, and then you have
put
at the
one
top.
forward, one back, or something.
Yeah, correct. So,
Yeah, but look, all in all, for someone that just wants to have their own place, maybe they're living by themselves or with their partner and they want a home office, or they have a young kid, or maybe they've got 2 young kids that are okay sleeping in the same bedroom, this is a really great property, I think, for the price point that it is.
agreed. How much would you pay for it? What would be the max thing you'd pay for that?
I think I'd pay what it was bought at.
What would you pay, 900?
I'll see how excited I got on the day.
Yeah. The notorious one who puts his hand up at auctions. No.
But all in all, I think this is quite a nice property.
So out of all of them, out of the first home buyers, which one would you buy and
think,
why? This one?
If it was a first home buyer and I had the budget, I think this is a really good purchase.
Yeah, I'm the same. This one's a great purchase. Whoever bought it, kudos to you. You did
done.
well. All right, Ben. Well, we've discussed the first home buyers. I'm excited for our next episode.
Yeah.
Feel free to comment any properties that you'd like us to review or a specific theme, first home buyers. I don't know, maybe some luxury at some point.
Yeah, and comment too what you thought of the properties that were reviewed.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we missed, or anything that you could elaborate more on, or anything that you think that isn't right or that is
Or
right?
is unique.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your comments. But yeah, please share the properties that you like and that you want us to comment on, and we will see you in the next episode.
Time to sign off from Property Pals.
See you later.
Bye.